All right, Army Dave here. I'm gonna play with old Blue. When we first got it running, I just used hose clamps for the muffler and it's rattling. So now I'm going to see if I can make that better. Chuck is over here playing with his 95, or as we lovingly call it, the 58 Fiat. And now, time for old Blue. So I've been driving it daily, been working pretty good. We have a weird thing with the brakes. I think we got it figured out. But today, what I'm gonna try to fix is the muffler. As you can see, is just hose clamped on. So I'm gonna see if I can mount it correctly and we'll go from there. So the problem was that this tailpipe, which is originally on the car, wasn't long enough. So what you've got here is they hook, the rubber hooks right there, but the bracket for it is right back over here. So there's that distance between here and here that I have to either extend the pipe or whatever. So we'll see how this goes. We'll loosen these clamps first. Well, that was pretty easy. All right, so now, yeah, it looks pretty loose. Let's undo this hose clamp thing. When we first did this, I wasn't even sure it was gonna work, so I wasn't too worried about putting the muffler on better, but we're gonna fix it. Hang on a sec. That's one long hose clamp. Okay, we're free. So if you look, there's a rubber bumper right here, and I think there's one on the other side. So if the muffler jumps up, you know, wow, it's in there pretty good. But if it would jump up, it would hit the rubber while it was hanging. So now I'm gonna try to get this thing off of here. I've got it jammed in there pretty tight. And this is just a used muffler that we had laying around. Okay, yeah. So, as I was afraid, it's supposed to hang there somehow on those rubber things, and I may not have the right stuff. So let's look and see here, move the light. So we've got that thing right there, and that thing right there. And I don't know. So we're gonna go look at another truck or another car just to see. So yeah, there's the two holes here. So what hung the muffler, huh? I'm gonna go look at, what do I have that might still have that on it? Well, we'll look at Chuck's and see. Hey Chuck, I think there's different hanger systems. That's what it is. That's what we're, okay. See this hooky thing? Yeah. The other one just has two rubber bumps there, so the rubber would attach this directly. So I need to get one of those things right there, and then we're in business. What I'm doing here is we got all our Saab parts. There's like muffler parts there. So what I'm gonna try to find is that missing clip that it's just a bracket with two things on each end for the rubber grommets. So we are gonna try to look for the parts. So I'm gonna come back with a ladder, and then digging through all this stuff, I should be able to find what I need. Here we go. That goes under the dash. I don't remember where, but looks like we got two of them. There's a radiator side bracket for the overflow bottle. Yeah, we really need to do a spring cleaning here. You know, let's just happen to look here. So this purple car is going to be converted to the Saab. So I wouldn't feel guilty if I stole, if it has it, the bracket off of this thing. Yeah, it has the bracket all right. Oh, this is different. You know, the cool thing about playing with these cards is I learn something new every day. So you see that donut right there? I don't know, see if I can get that off of there. There we go, okay. So we gotta try to push that off. that rod. Okay, 2 hands here. We're off of this. Oh, yes, yes. Yay! Okay. All right. So here's our rubber donut. That's cool. But if you look at this bracket here, now I understand. Oh man, this muffler's like just about ready to come off of here. So there's the bracket, and I didn't know this was a thing. So this is held on with 2 rubber things, which I think I can make this. And then the donuts hang on this. So I'm gonna shut the camera off for a moment, and we're gonna make this thing better. This bracket here, that's what they hang on. But then this bracket is separated by 2 little rubber things. And I have those in a Jeep form, which holds a Jeep radiator. And I think I know right where those are. Aha! Here we go. So these are for a Jeep generator, or actually a voltage regulator mount. So that's what those are. Those are isolators for a voltage regulator mount. All right. So what if I took 2 of these, did this, those mount to the 2 holes, and then I make a bracket or find it, because these guys are supposed to be in between this mount and the bracket that the O-rings hang on. So those are supposed to be in between there. Or you just mount, because I don't know if there's going to be enough room if you do that. But that's what it originally had. I think they were shorter than these. But this is the idea. 2 of these, this bracket on the bottom, and then the O-rings, so you had double dampening. So what I might do is just make the bracket with 2 little tabs so the O-ring stays put, and just hang it with the O-rings, and we'll try that. Because I don't think there's going to be enough room between this thing and the muffler. But we'll see. Anyway, that's the plan. And now I know. Again, every time I play with these, I learn something new, which is really cool. Okay, here's the plan. I am going to use, and by the way, sorry for the mess of everything. I'm in the process of wiring this M38A1 that has the 231 V6 in it. And of course, while we were attempting to take out the temperature sender unit off the aluminum Holley intake manifold, it went and cracked when we were taking it off. So that's out getting welded right now. Then I got to put it back on. So you know how it is. Just about the time you think you're getting close, you got a little more things to do. But that's why everything's a mess. Oh, here, check this out. This is the parts off of the 1.5 Saab engine that, the V4, that is being machined right now. And I haven't decided if so I mic this gear, and so the balance shaft gear and the camshaft gear are fiber. Well, both of these are still within tolerances, including the metal actual crank gear, but they are out of an unknown engine that I don't know how old it is. So I might be just buying some new, or go with the metal ones. I have the metal ones in the hot rod car, but they howl. And after so many thousands of miles, it gets a little quieter. But I've decided if I wanted to listen to the whine or not. So back to the muffler. So again, our guess is that these mounted to that mounting bracket right there. So what I'm going to do is use this bar stock, and I'm going to bend a piece up. So basically the donut will stay. I'm going to weld a little tab, and then we'll just drill 2 holes to match this. And then I'm just try bolting this on and hanging it that way and see how it goes. I have new old stock donuts and a bunch of takeoffs, so we're going to try that first. So I'm going to get cracking on this. Let's say we made the tabs like 1/2 inch. So these rubber tabs are tabs for the rubber on the muffler. They are, well, I need a better one of these. How about just I get a good old tape measure. All right, so these are only, yeah, it's about like 1/2 inch. So if we take our bar stock, and of course I get the tape measure that doesn't lock open, that's all right. We go 1/2 inch, and then it is from center to center exactly 6 inches. Notice it's inches, not millimeters, okay guys? Inches. We'll dead reckon it about there. So let's say that's center. Then this will be center. We do another 1/2 inch after that. So we have our dimensions. So that gets to go in the scrap metal. And we're gonna start by cutting this off. Alrighty, now I need to cut 2 1/2 inch tabs for the brackety part to hold the rubber donut. And 2. So I'm gonna radius these things off here. And you know, whoever invented these flapper wheels, I'd like to thank them. They're really cool. Alright, that should do it there. Okay, so plan is to bend these up on the marks. Make sure that's relatively straight. Beat this guy down to where it's at a relative 90. Do the same thing to the other side. Now we got this, and then what we're gonna do is weld the little tabs on. Grab these guys. This will hold it in place while we tack it. Now I'm gonna go grab the welder. Dip it in some tip dip so it doesn't splatter so bad. So the plan is to just have it far enough to where the rubber donut will stay. So I'm just gonna tack it real quick. There we go. So here's our finished product, and the goal of this is to match the 2 hooks on the muffler, so then the little rubber doodads hang in there, and then it'll hang free and not rattle. So next is to drill the 2 holes in this piece so we can bolt it to the bracket like Chuck was, and then I can hang the muffler.